What's up, YouTube? I'm so happy that Andre 3000 is releasing his new album that's about to drop in 3 days, November 17th. This is the first album that he has released in 20 years. And I know not too many people might know who he is, but this is one of the most anticipated albums to me in the last 25 years, maybe 30 years. I mean, this guy is an icon, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, member of OutKast. I hope Big Boy, he collabs with Big Boy. I really was thrilled to see him drop a single with Kanye West last month. You know, even though he just had one verse in it, it was still amazing. He's the most unique rapper I've ever heard. And it's been 20 years too long since he's been in the studio. Or he might have been in the studio this whole time, but this is his first album that he's dropping, solo album. Very unique artist, blending soul, hip hop, jazz, blues. His sound is very unique to Atlanta because Atlanta is a very unique place musically. I mean, since Carter 3, this is probably the most anticipated album for me, or maybe Kanye Graduation, or going back to even Chronic 2000. So much so that I'm making a video about it because I think more people should know about it. Yeah, I got on Google Trends, and this is top 10. It should be number one. Let's see what this article has to say about it. At a certain point in the winding lifespan of Andre 3000's musical journey, there came a time when we, as fans, began to worry less about his lack of creative output and more about his general well-being. He ascended pop's mountaintop as the outrageous half of OutKast, the best-selling hip-hop duo of all time. Then, without much explanation, he bowed out. He grieved the loss of three parents, mom, dad, and stepdad, in a decade's time, and for years the only glimpse we got into his state of mind were the random guest verses he'd kill at will, or the doubly random social media sightings of him inexplicably playing the flute while wandering the earth solo. Catching him in the act became a game overzealous fans played, like some hip-hop version of Where's Waldo, almost against his wishes. But he was also in on the joke, he assures me. I laugh at it because my homies in Atlanta will talk and they'll be like, man, Ish think you crazy to mess around with the flute. So he's saying he lost some street cred for playing the flute? Come on, man. It's Andre 3000. Maybe he was preparing us for what was to come all along. For the first time in 17 years, Andre 3000 is releasing an album of new music. New Blue Sun, announced today and set to be released this Friday, November 17th, is a stunning 87-minute mind bender, minimalist and experimental, tribal and transcendent. One thing it is not, however, is a rap record. Interesting. No bars, no beats, no sub bass. Andre doesn't sing on this joint either. What he does do is play flute, and plenty of it. Contrabass flute, Mayan flutes, bamboo flutes. along with other digital wind instruments. Interesting. In place of lyrics, he offers 8 provocative song titles, the first of which almost reads like a low key apology with a wink of irony. I swear I really wanted to make a rap album, but this is literally the way the wind blew me this time. Wow. Okay. Wow. The painstaking standard Andre 3000 set may have made it harder to entertain himself in the years post OutKast, but so he has thought of chasing his tail. Even without a solo rap album in his catalog, he's consistently ranked among the greatest of all times, like Coltrane, reaching for new heights. He mastered rap's rigidity, pushed it past its limits, and eventually reconfigured the entire landscape alongside Big Boy. He granted a lineage of ATLians, permission to run amok with melodic, sing-songy rhyme styles that would earn them the same derision and eventual mass following he'd gained. Aging gracefully is not a luxury afforded most rappers. Even 50 years in, hip-hop is still no country for old men. But what of the rapper who comes to see rap itself as old hat? How should we as fans react when the poet laureate of our collective psyche trades in his pen for a woodwind? Interesting. A departure album in the classic sense, New Blue Sun, also feels like Andre has arrived. Its making came about organically once he relocated from New York to LA instead of the OutKast origin story that started at Headland and Delaware, where Big Boy and Dre met their future Dungeon Family producers organized noise back in the day. This remix began with an unassuming trip to Irwan, the chic LA health food chain where Andre bumped into percussionist and experimental jazz heavy Carlos Nino. All right, so he's about to drop a jazz flute album. A little Jethro Tull, okay. Before long, Andre started showing up flute in hand to Nino's crib where they'd jam in the basement the same way he did in the early Dungeon days. Their impromptu meeting introduced Andre to a community of collaborators who contribute to New Blue Sun, from keyboardist and Alice Coltrane, Sura Botafacina, to guitarist, multi-instrumentalist Nate Merciru. With no intention of making an album, they began recording about a year ago. Each song was pure improvisation, with musicians responding to each other in real time. The result is subtle but daring, mainly because it flies in the face of everything we've come to expect and selfishly demand as Andre 3000 fans, yet somehow the purely instrumental New Blue Sun exposes his unrefined soul and the delicate nature of his creative process in ways the Gemini's wordsmiths' fine-tuned verses tend to conceal. When we talked a few weeks ago before the album's release, he was equally transparent and tangible, whether laughing about Tyler, the creator's funny response to his new music, detailing the wild ayahuasca trip that had him purring like a panther in Hawaii, or sharing the reason why he gets so many requests to play flute at funerals now. The man may not owe us anything, but he's finally ready to share. This is from Rodney Carmichael of NPR. Wow. He's playing the flute. So it's not a rap album. He's dropping a jazz album. which is going to be cool. Not what I expected. Probably not what any fan of Andre 3000's was expecting. He did drop a verse on Kanye's single about a month ago that you can find on YouTube. But he's transitioning to another genre of music. And hopefully all of his fans will give it a listen. He might do a bluegrass album next. You never know. He might pick up the violin. But Andre 3000's an incredible artist. And I wish him well in his new musical endeavors. If you made it this far, please like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. All right, YouTube. Peace.